one topic I really didn't want to talk about, but I was struggling for topics, was our mate Trent Alexander-Arnold. Liverpool legend Steven Gerrard, he's had a few words to say on him, mainly on I think it was the Rio Ferdinand podcast,
Yeah.
if memory's serving me right. Speaking without my Liverpool hat on, this is Steven Gerrard about Trent. Speaking without my Liverpool hat on, Real Madrid came in for me, so my head can turn. I understand it. His best mate plays there. He wants to challenge himself. He's won everything in Liverpool, so there's part of me that understands it. But as soon as I put my Liverpool hat back on, I think, what are you doing? You're arguably one of the best teams in Europe. You're winning things, and I sit here now and still dream about it. You're one of the main men. The fans adore you. What are you doing? But this is with my Liverpool hat on, because I love Liverpool Football Club. Now, Dylan, the last part of that for me, I loved, like where he says, "Because I love
Yeah.
Liverpool." I think that was a very, very, very nicely pushed shot without actually without calling him out as much, to basically say, "I love Liverpool, Trent. You don't." Steven Gerrard, for me, there has summed it up to an absolute T. Nobody cares about Trent Alexander-Arnold leaving the football club. We understand why he has left to a certain extent. What kind of can't be forgiven in my eyes is how you've left and your reasons for leaving, because they don't make sense. Like,
Yeah.
I thought that was a really good comment by Gerard, Dylan. I don't know about you, but that come across to me as kind of the best way to sum it up.
Yeah, and obviously it's well documented about everything when it was Gerrard with the Chelsea stuff and the other teams that came in for him with Mourinho. We wanted him at Madrid as well when he was trying to get him there. I think, like you say, it sums it up perfectly, because we've waited for years and years and years to finally be the team that's back on top of everything again. And you've grown up with that. You've been in that situation. You've come through the club during that situation. And then to still go in the way that you did is kind of the thing that he's really trying to make sure that point's put across in the end of it. And I think that's an important point to put across, because fans of the other clubs can think whatever they want about the fact that what Liverpool fans think about how Trent left, but we know what the situation is. We know what it was like. So we've been through that situation, and so did he. He grew up in the club in those situations, and now you are getting that reward that Gerrard would have given anything for, to be the team that were winning the Premier League, that are competing for the Champions League every single season, and yet you still didn't want to be part of it, and you were left in the way that you did. So, yeah, I think it's a perfect kind of quote in terms of how it came across to me.
Yeah, I think as well, Dylan, Deck, sorry, he,
Yeah.
the fact he's a Scouser has made it worse, you
Yeah.
know. And I think obviously, every Liverpool fan, not even just a Scouser. Harvey Elliott was a prime example as well. Harvey Elliott did not want to leave Liverpool. He left because he had to. Trent did not have to leave. He's a starting right back. And he has said multiple times on camera that Liverpool is his dream. All he wanted to do was play for Liverpool and win trophies. But you've now gone and changed that. And, we talked a lot about Trent when
Yeah.
obviously he was leaving, and it got to a point where it's just like it was definitely happening, and I think everything was so toxic around it. The club asking people not to boo, fans, turning on themselves, and I still see, like Scouse Liverpool fans say, oh, I wish him the best. Man, I do not wish you the best. Every time you step on a football pitch, I hope the worst happens. Like, it angers me still, like that he like like football's such an emotional thing, and I one of the things that annoyed me was people telling Liverpool fans how to feel,
Yeah.
like, and Rio Ferdinand was one of them people. He was
Yeah.
very
He
much
was.
oh, let Trent go, or like, mate, you don't understand
Yeah.
it. I don't even know, can't remember Rio Ferdinand's career, but you ended up at QPR, mate. No one cared about you in the end. So
Yeah.
it's the fact that Liverpool fans were so angry shows how much they cared, and that for me should have been a massive indication to Trent to be like, listen, I'm so loved here. Like, this is my city, this is my club. I grew up here. All I've ever dreamed about doing, look, Reeve and Decker and Dylan as well. You grow up in the city, mate. You Liverpool's there. Did any of you dream about playing for fucking Real Madrid or
No.
Barcelona? No, you might have had a Real Madrid or Barcelona kit or Juventus kit, but no, if you wanted to be a footballer, mate, Liverpool until the end. And for me, that was the biggest thing. And I think what he's hit on there, Dex, it's spot on. So
I agree. And just to touch on what you said about like the fact that he's a Scouser, makes it the fact that he's a Scouser is the sole narrative for me why we boo him, why there was so much toxicity. That is the key catalyst in all of this for me, because if he wasn't a Scouser, it'd be like something like with Harvey Elliott, because like what Dylan said before, he's grew up, he's come through the ranks, he's been part of stuff and things like that. Harvey Elliott's done that as well. Harvey Elliott's been at the club since a young age, and he left. He didn't want to leave, but he left, and people didn't really. It was sad, but it was like, okay, look, he's got to go. He's got to go and play football. Trent didn't have to leave because, like you said, he was a starting right back. But also, Harvey Elliott and other players that leave the football club aren't Scousers. No matter how long you might have been at the club for, you're not from Liverpool. So for me, that's the whole reason why Steven Gerrard speaking on the matter it's actually like a bit of a breath of fresh air, because obviously I don't want to keep going over it about talking about Trent, but to see another Scouser talk about it, to see another Scouser who's from the city, who understands it, not someone just from the media who isn't a Scouser, or an ex-player who isn't a Scouser, or even ex-players and people who've played for the club, they won't get it. And the fact that Steven Gerrard's come out and spoke so well about it, and he is a Scouser, he's the first person that I've sort of been like, who I've seen mainstream, who's actually been like, do you know what, he's hit the nail on the head there. The fact that Trent is a Scouse, it makes the whole situation what it is. Because if he wasn't a Scouser, I don't think many people would even. It'd be like, oh God, look, he's going to Real Madrid. Not only that, I think him being Scouse is a big thing, but the way he left and the way it happened, the fact that he left for free, the whole situation around it was just handled so badly. But in being a Scouser, it just skyrocketed that, and people are going to have their opinions. And unfortunately, Trent, I hope when you do come back to Liverpool with Real Madrid, Kirk is absolutely just a 2 foot you off. Do you know what I mean? Like I don't wish him well. I don't, and it's sad to see, because I like Trent. Do you know what I mean? He was a great player for us, but I don't wish him well. You play for Real Madrid now. While I wish you well, it's the whole like Real Madrid thing as well. I'm sorry to go on a bit, boys, but like like people say they're not rivals. They are rivals. Real Madrid are a massive rival. It's just it couldn't have. It's like it couldn't have been any worse, really, could it? Do you know what I mean? Even if he went to Barcelona, it wouldn't be as bad as him going to Real Madrid. So
it's you fucked the club over. This was an open secret for
that's
3
it.
years,
That's it.
mate.
That's
Paddy,
it.
I remember an interview of Paddy the Baddy about 2 years ago on his YouTube, where he said that Trent's learning Spanish. This was before
I
most
heard about
things.
this.
This
Yeah.
came out years ago. Like it's been an open secret. It's been an open secret in Spain for years. It was and oh man, I hate the
When he
fact
was,
that I
I know,
hate that this is being
mate.
brought back
I
up.
know.
It
So
proper
do I. So do I.
boils
It
me
does my
blood.
head in. It does my head in.
The biggest, and I was at these games. You're kissing the badge, you're
Oh,
shushing, you're
lad.
doing that with your ear, and then you're telling people to shush. Guess what? You've been right all along. So you're doing that to fans, making
Even at the start of the season, all this celebration and all that,
yeah.
like all this. What are you doing? Sounds like.
I
Do
know
you
it's
know what I mean?
he does. I can't wait for the interview in 10 years when he comes out and says, "Oh, leaving Liverpool was the biggest mistake in my life."
Yeah.
No, it's going to happen.
It's definitely gonna happen. But Reeve, I'll give you a quick thing on that, because I feel like I could genuinely talk about this for
Yeah.
so long.
Yeah.
But it's just there's just so many factors that people don't understand, and it's not as simple as, oh, player moves to football club. Like
That's what I mean.
there's so much, isn't there? And Gerrard is the perfect person to do it, because he turned down nearly every top club in the world. So the fact he's spoken about it to Rio Ferdinand, who was such a big kind of a big, defender of Trent.
Yeah.
I think it speaks volumes that, outside of the Liverpool sphere, no one's really picked up on this because they probably realise that actually Steven Gerrard makes sense here, so it's, look, but it was a good interview from Stevie, and that's coming from someone, unpopular opinion, I'm not Gerrard's biggest fan. Like, he's a legend of the club, but I think kind of his personality and stuff, it never transpired with me. But this interview, I thought it made him look great, which is obviously a benefit for him, and made Trent look even worse.
Yeah, I think what he's done is perfect, to be honest, because he's said it. I see it from a professional standpoint, like a footballer, but you're a professional and you're a scouser as well. There's that thing coming in it, and as a professional, as a scouser, and us will know, it's like in our brain we can't compute it. Like if we were 8th in the league, you know what I mean? Like we get it. We've just won the Premier League. Like this, it's like we were back, and it's not like he's just going to somewhere else. He's going to our biggest rivals in Europe, and it's literally factual that they've been our biggest rivals in Europe over the last 5-10 years. You know what I mean? Since our come up, so it's really hard to take, and it's like he's left in the prime of his career. It's not like, if he was at Liverpool and he was here till he was like 13, he was like, still has a couple more good years, but he decided, I want to try something different at the end of his career. You'd get it. You know what I mean? At a time when we could have got, he was £100 million player. Let's not get it twisted.
And the rest, lad. And the rest.
Exactly. Do you know what I mean? We're saying 75 million for Semenyo. He was a great player. But Trent Alexander-Arnold's been at the top of his game for 7 years, generational talent. And he's left on
best right back in the world. Best right back in the world.
Yeah, my opinion's not going to change on that just because he's left. You know what I mean? And the thing was, at the time when he was leaving, it was really difficult for me because I was in the camp, he's still wearing a red shirt, when we didn't know as well. And we didn't know. We knew, but we didn't know. In my opinion, I was like, he's still in a red shirt. So my brain was going, right, I'm not booing him. But then I didn't tell person next to me who was booing, fuck off, you know what I mean? You can't boo. Because it was like, listen, you can express your opinion, and now he's left. When he comes back in that white shirt, Anfield's going to be a hellhole. Like I just can't wait for it.
Yeah, I was about to bring that comment up. What do you expect from the crowd when he arrives back with Madrid? I don't think he will come back. I think even if he is fit for that game, which that will be the week he returns if he was to return. I don't think he'll play, and I especially do not think he will play off the bench because that will give him. That'll be more spotlight than him, just coming on. But I think he has to be booed. I do.
He will be.
In a rival shit. Like, do you know what? Luis Suarez, it's happened to him. You know what I mean?
He's my favourite Liverpool player of all time.
Exactly.
He got booed. Mate, you're in a rival in a big game. You're getting booed. It just is
exactly. It's part of building an atmosphere. It's part of intimidating the opponent, regardless of the past. If you're going to affect us on the pitch, you're our enemy just for that night. But not just that night now.
That's game over for him, lad. It's game over for him, lad.
That is the difference between the likes of him and Luis Suarez.
Exactly.
Luis Suarez will be respected as, I would class him as a legend,
I love Luis Suarez, lad.
Yes, Trent Alexander-Arnold, by all legend status, trophies won, games played, he might be under there, but he will be under the Michael Owen category, and he will never, he could say anything. He could get God himself to come down and say, forgive him. No, mate. I do not care. He'll never ever get my respect again the way he not just treated the club, but the Liverpool fan base as a whole. And the cup in the ear and the shush and that did it for me.
Yeah, that's it.
Taking the shirts off and all that.
Yeah.
Hanging the shirts on the corner flag. It's fucking criminal. It's absolutely criminal.
I thought he would say after that. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
I know, so did I.
I was so deluded.
His brother as well. He should never be left back in Liverpool. That Tyler Alexander-Arnold, the big absolute lemon.
Isn't he Andy Robertson's agent?
Yeah, we should. And who else? He's a few players' agents. He's got his hand in all the pies. I wouldn't. I wouldn't be being represented by him. But let's move on because we could talk
Yeah,
about
let's
Yeah, fucking Trent, wow, Trent.